Right everyone, I'm here today back in Chadderton Cemetery, and I don't know how many graves I'm going to do, but I want to tell you about this particular fella here. He's called George Borden and he lived in Frank Hill House. That's
Hi everyone, right, I just had to put in because as I do with a lot of my videos, I've put a picture up of what's there now. I should have thought on to go and film it really, but weren't in the right mind today. Anyway, get to the point. Have you noticed that post, or those posts there that you can see? Well, they're definitely not. I know there was a pub here before. This used to be a pub, didn't it? I can't remember what it was called. But those posts are old, and I reckon they came from Franklin House that used to stand on this ground. Does anybody remember it? I know they might not do. It might be a few years before anyone's time. Or can anyone verify that? I'm fairly confident with that.
111 Henshaw Street in Oldham is the actual address. And his father was a fella called William Borden, who was MP of Oldham, and he also had Borden Spindles, I think the company was called. They employed about 400 people in the town. And if you look, George, who was just been elected a Justice of the Peace, he died at 36. And what happened was he was out on his horse one day and got thrown from the horse. And from what I can gather, he didn't die straight away, but he did die of his injuries. So, yeah, he was running his father's business at the time of his death. We've got all sorts of people buried in here. Over here we've also got the grave of Eli Lees. That's that one there. I've shown that many times before. But we're going to have a look at a few graves and I'll tell you about them. Everyone, we'll just come back at the back of George's grave to read the back. And then I just looked down, and this is the grave of his father, William Borden. It's not cared for anymore. It's obviously not being tended to. Be interesting to see where the family is. But yeah, beautiful grave. It's got the old Celtic cross. Let's have a look here. It says William Borden, JP of Oldham, who died at Ashton-under-Lyne. Can't read the bloody date. 27th, 1897, age 75. 1897, so he actually outlived his son. Quite shocking that, isn't it?
Everyone, coming up shortly is something that absolutely terrorised me. I'm going to leave it in unedited and just let you decide for yourself what went on.
So this fella it's his wife, David Davis, and his wife, Lavina. David, it says on the side of the tomb, although it's really hard to see, it says, beneath this tomb lies the remains of David Davis. He was born in 1818 and died in 1874. He was a waste dealer. Cotton waste dealer, but his tomb's massive. I think his wife's got a gorgeous name, Lavina. But here around this would have had chains. They've obviously removed them over the years for whatever reason. Maybe they perished, rotted away. Who knows? One good thing about Chadderton Cemetery is that they haven't done what they've done at Greenacres and started tumbling all the massive monuments, which is what they've done up there. That grave over there, by the way, is it's the grave of one of the most wealthy mill owners in Oldham. His house is on Union Street. There's a blue plaque outside. He was known as, I mentioned him in the other grave video, but he was basically known to be quite a tyrant.
I
think it might be. I felt something move under my foot, Stella. Oh my God. Right, what's just happened there, everyone, is my auntie just said she was just stood here about to read this grave. Oh, my heart's going dead fast. I weren't putting that, something moved under my foot.
That's where I was, and I heard like.
Right, I don't know what's going on, but basically, somebody, right, I don't know, I can't even speak, right, I was just stood there. My auntie basically just said to me, I've had to come out because I felt something thud under my foot. And I said, come on, let's have a look. And I walked over, I don't know how much of it I filmed. And I put my foot there, and I swear to God, I felt something move under my foot, and I'm not joking. That is terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. What the frick?
I thought ignorable that. That's why I shut away that Clegg.
That's strange. That's strange.
You know what? I could do without that.
I felt something move under my foot.
I felt something and heard something like, you know, like a muffled thud.
Oh God, no.
Like a one like that.
That is shocking. Right, let's have a look at this. Yeah. This is Henry Lister, a native of Oldham. It's quite interesting. And it says, wow, this is Henry Lister Hargreaves. He died August 14th, 1914. He was a native of Oldham, a member of the Society of Friends and a benefactor of the Oldham Royal Infirmary.
It's called Lister.
Look at that. But his grave's going to be covered over, everybody, because as you can see, this ivy's taking hold. I think I mentioned this one in another grave, everybody, but if you look at this particular stone here, this is to the Hilton family. Now, the Hiltons were clothiers. They manufactured cloth, basically. Well, it was the Mellejews that did the velvet. And as you can see, John Mellejew is also buried in here, which is one of the Mellejews. And they used to get that a lot. The large families had merged together. They'd obviously only marry into their own class, wouldn't they? But this here is the Hilton family that built the Hilton Arcade in Oldham. Yeah. Oh, I'm saying that soon here. Anyway, I spoke too soon, didn't I? There's a grave that's been smashed off there at the bottom. And this is Reverend Harris Jones. Now, Reverend Harris Jones has ties to, which church is it? It's the church up in Glodwick. And also, he was from Monmouthshire. Yeah, he was a vicar, but I think he was originally from Oldham. And he was a Master of Arts. That's what an MA is. Let's see who else we've got. Not doing very well on my camera today. This grave here, I've mentioned this one before. This is Josiah Radcliffe. Josiah Walmsley Radcliffe, Esquire. He was the son of Samuel Radcliffe. Not Samuel Radcliffe. Josiah Radcliffe, sorry. He was a mayor of Oldham, this fella. Lived in Werneth Park, as did his father. I mentioned his father many times before. You'll know who he is. He's the fella who shot James Platt. I have actually mentioned that in my other video, so I won't go into too much detail. If you want to know about that, have a look back on the old video. More Clegg families here, of Highfield. Abraham Clegg, Esquire. Must be the same family. This is it, look, John William. Blackburn, I think. Yeah, look. In loving memory of George Blackburn, born 4th of June 1816, died 30th of September 1871. Absolutely stunning grave, that. I'll tell you what, today everyone, it's absolutely stunning here in the cemetery. Look at this beautiful beautiful grave. Look at that. Some emblem on the side of it. You've got a cross on the top. And this is the grave of Thomas. No, it's Mary, wife of Thomas Bryan and daughter of Abraham and Sarah Dunkley Clegg, who died 1893, aged 55 years. And also the above named Thomas Bryan, he died 1905. And then the Cleggs again. The Cleggs have got graves in Grinnikers, here, all over. Right, I think I'll walk back to the car now. Yeah, I'll show you. Everyone, look at this. I had to show it you. We've got Edward Hulkyard. He was a surgeon of Oldham and he died April 2nd, 1827, aged 47, and was interred at St Peter's Church. So he would have been one of the people whose grave was dug up to make way for the Town Square Shopping Centre. Also his widow, who died 1873, you can assume she was the same. It looks like maybe they've had him reinterred here, but it says he was interred there. So in memoriam, Alfred Lees, he died in 1913, Hulkyard. And then we've got Henry Hulkyard, surgeon Oldham, who died July the 10th, 1887, aged 70, and his widow. And I'll find out where they lived. But yeah, he would have been dug up and moved. Most of them were reinterred at Hollingwood, I believe. But also, this fella once told me in a pub, I've mentioned it in the previous video, that he was instructed to go to the site in the morning. He's dead now, so no one can ask him again. But he told me one night in the pub, it was the Parkfield pub in Moorside back in the 90s, and he told me he used to drive a lorry, and basically he was asked by the people who were digging up the graves to turn up, and he had to get there for 6 o'clock in the morning, or it might have even been earlier than that, I can't remember exactly. And basically what happened was, when he turned up there, they loaded up the back of the truck with a load of bones, and he was instructed to take them to Breezehill School, where Breezehill School was. They've knocked that down now. And there used to be a tip there, and they threw the bones on the tip. Now some people say, well, that can't possibly happen because you'd have to have the Home Office involved. All I can tell you is what he told me. I don't know if there's any truth in it, but he told me. That's what he told me. So I don't know. Look at her, she's absolutely beautiful.